Well, hello, and welcome back. This time with the audio turned on. So, yeah, hopefully this goes a little bit smoother. um, yeah, let's see if everything works. All right, I'm A. Joe Neal. This is me live coding, hanging out. So, if you want to join in, feel free. Well, wait, you already joined in. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, anyway. Working on this Base62 implementation stuff. I'll give you a quick recap of what I did in the last, I don't know, hour or so. um, Basically, I found out that the Base62 encodings that seem to agree with one another all have something to do with BaseX. So there's one called BaseX for JavaScript. There's one called BaseX for Go, for Java. I found a bunch of different BaseXs, and they all seem to agree. And so I'm feeling good that BaseX is the way to go. And there are a bunch of other Base62 encoders that I found, but none of them agree, and so I'm saying that they're all garbage. But the one that I found in Go that was finally the one that kind of saved me, but then it ends up that I don't need to port this code because I ported some code before, but it turned out that code wasn't actually a Base62 encoding that anything else understood. It was somebody's very fine, hand-tuned, own personal Base62 encoding rather than a Base62 encoding that is portable. So this BaseX stuff seems to be portable, but it's already implemented in JavaScript. And it works for bytes and for ints. I think it works for ints. I actually don't know if it works for ints. I have to. Let me come back to that. Anyway. So yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just making a little page here. Let me go back to. I got too many things open again. Let me close this one out. Close this one out. Yeah, so I'm just making a little boilerplate for myself because I should just be able to copy this code rather than type it out every time. This is one of those stupid things where I recommend whenever you realize, hey, I should make a template for this, just do it. Just you'll never regret making a template for something. And it's dumb that as many years as I've been doing this, I have yet to make myself a stupid simple template for creating a web page. Anyway, so we're gonna create this web page, and we're gonna put a paste your whatever it is here, your string or your maybe Base64, paste it here, and then I'll give you the Base62 of that. And we could possibly also handle arrays of bytes as well. Anyway, what I wanted to look at here was just for this little tiny template that I'm creating. I always forget whether it's first, if it's main and then section. Yeah, it's main and then section. And I suppose there should be a header and a footer. So let's nest what the header and the footer should be. I don't know. I think header is supposed to have nav inside of it. I think they both kind of have nav stuff inside of them. So this one, the header, this is the header there. And then let's see, the footer is that there. So let me just take a look at how this is done and see if I want to do it the same way in my little snippety. I like the HR. I think that's great. I like the P. I think that's great. So let's go with it. Let's do HR and P made by change me. And then in the section bit, let me see, what do we end up having here for sections? Let me just take a look at this one. Is this just straight up puts in a header and an aside? What's this section made of? Features, header, table. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, and then what was the header section? I think the header section is made of nav. Yeah, so this one has nav, and then it has what? UL, links in UL. Yeah, that's good. Let's have something similar like that. So we'll just grab this. We'll do nav, and then we'll do equals back to self, home, we'll say, and then we'll do the UL and the LI and the href. Change me. Change me. Okay, cool. Nice little boilerplate template that I'll use right now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add this. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Well, I'm not going to call it install. I'm going to call it update. Yeah, so let's update deps.sh. There we go. And I'm just going to say initial commit. Push. Oh. Apparently. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Merry Christmas Eve. Okay, cool. Now I can push there. All right, so I'm going to get out of there. That was all just for the purpose of having an index.html and a vendor that I can put here. This whole thing is going to be a GitHub repo or GitHub Pages repo. So let's go ahead and put base62.js. Now I wonder, here's the thing I wonder how do we get that base60, the base-x library to work in the browser? Can it work in the browser? Let's see what all it depends on. Because this actually may not work in the browser. I might end up having to redo this. All right. Dang it. All right, this is not going to be browser safe. Dang it. Okay, so I am going to have to port this over. Maybe I'll just port it, instead of finding the Go code, maybe I'll port it over from the JavaScript code that's already written. So yeah, let's do that. And then I can just say this is taken from, well, let's see, what's their license? Because I might have to match my license to their license. Their license is MIT. Okay. Yep. All right, so I'm going to move this over then. I'm going to, dang it. I didn't want to have to, what's the significance of base62? That's a really good question. Let me answer that in just a second once I finish my thought here on this. Hold on. Let's go look at raw here. And then I'm just going to do, let's see, remove license, wget license. And then we're going to say 2021, the root group. I'm just saying AG O'Neill. Okay, significance of base62 is two things. The thing that I'm interested in it for, originally, was this right here. I wanted to see if I can replicate what GitHub is doing. So GitHub's new token formats. They're using base62 for this. And base64 has two non-alphanumeric characters. So base62 is alphanumeric. Base64 is alphanumeric plus minus an underscore. Or if you're doing the non-URL safe version, then it's plus and slash. But plus and slash both have special meaning in the URL. So the URL safe is minus and underscore. Plus goes to minus, slash goes to underscore, because those are both URL safe characters. But if you use base62, which is just alphanumeric, then you can use underscore as a separator. And when you double click, so check this out. If I double click this, I only get the word random, but if I double click this, I get the whole thing. So it's just a little, it's not really, I started embarking on this thinking it was going to be simple, and then it ended up, 10 hours later. I always think everything's simple, but 10 hours later, it's like, wait a minute, this is not simple. This seems like this should be well standardized. There's not a good standard for Base62 is part of the problem. Let's see. Are there any dependencies here other than safe buffer? No. So yeah, what I'm going to do then is say base62.js. I'm just going to get rid of this safe buffer here and use instead, wait a minute, they have uint8 array stuff in here, so why are they not always using that? Interesting. Sorry, anyway, if I didn't explain that well, ask me more questions. Undefined equals type of module. This is the only case I use a ternary expression. Window else module. And it's important that we test for module because then it makes it work with Webpack and stuff. If we did a test of window, then it would sometimes break. So this little snippet is what allows us to have things work both in the browser and in Node. All right, so then we do exports and let's see. Let's see, create, maybe I need a create encoder. Exports dot create encoder equals this. And we got alphabet. Let's get rid of safe buffer. If is array. Let's see here. Woof, this is scary. Hey, what's up, Postway? Thanks for saying hello. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for dinner soon. Wow, we have the most orange sky right now. Let me go ahead and bring in my JS hint. Actually, let me go ahead and open this up. This is what I need to do. I'll do this both for JS hint and for, I don't know if I have my prettier yet. Okay, Webby prettier. Oh, I still don't have that done. Okay, that's fine. All right, prettierrc.json. Okay. Yeah, plus equals 1, plus equals 1. So anyway, at this point, I'm just doing this out of, I figured out something that's difficult, and so I'm essentially publishing it just for the sake of publishing, so that if anybody else looks into this, they're a little bit better off themselves. Okay, so we actually need to change bitwise to false for this, because we do not, The true and false is kind of weird. You'd think that bitwise true means allow bitwise, and bitwise false means disallow, but it actually is the opposite for some reason. Okay, so this would be O. Can we do it like that? Again, not using plus plus and minus minus because we're not dealing with pointers, so that doesn't lexicographically make sense. Oh, that's scary right there. Plus plus. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I would think that it doesn't mean anything. I would expect that in this particular case, plus plus would in the front would be the same thing as plus plus in the end. The difference is there's certain cases where I don't remember exactly, but it's whether you return the value first and then increment, or whether you increment and then return the value. See, stuff like that, it just, to me, it has no place in JavaScript. But I'm pretty sure does this even make sense? What's IT2 again? I don't even know what that means. IT2. All right. It's interesting that they call it B58. I'm pretty sure that this condition, this shouldn't matter, right? Because this is I gotta go Google this real quick. JavaScript difference between plus plus in front or behind. Let's see what we get. Pre-increment, post-increment, increment the variable, the value of the expression is the final value. Means remember the original value, then increment the variable, the value of the expression is the original value. Okay. They mean the same thing when used as standalone. Right. Okay, yeah. So this kind of ninja crap, I call this ninja crap. I would never recommend that anybody use this. See, the common problem is sometimes people see things like this and they think, oh, cool, which is why I say, rule of thumb, if it sounds cool, avoid it like the plague, don't do it. Because generally people say cool to things that they don't understand. They don't say cool to things that are intuitive and obvious. So if you hear somebody saying, oh, that's a cool bit of code, probably means it's bad code. Because there's no sense in doing something like this where you have to go Google and say, wait a minute, does it work like this or does it work like that? Just write it in the normal, just put it as what it's supposed to do. Don't do funny stuff. All right. So, I think maybe I get why they're doing it the way that they're doing it. Okay, this is just kind of nonsense here. Minus equals 1, plus equals 1, plus equals 1. We could probably do this in a simpler way. Might not end up being as efficient. Oh, no. This is exactly... Oh, no. What is this? Ah, crap. So I think what we want here... okay, this will get array 0. This will get array 1. Okay, so what we want to do here is say this should be j, and this should be j plus equals 1. And this should be it4, and this should be it4 plus equals 1. This is readable. This, you don't have to have as much language understanding to get. Okay. So, oh gosh. Where are these buffer instances that we're going to need to change now? All right, buffer is not defined. I don't really, why would I want buffer? I'm going to say instance of buffer. Well, I don't even want to do that. All right, let's say or not. Then source is uint8 array dot from source. There we go. If not, source instance of uint8 array. I think the problem might be that you can't shrink and grow a uint8 array. I don't see any problems with this here. This looks to be just fine. Why would you want it to be... What? Decode unsafe. I think you just want new uint8 array. Nothing, right? Okay. Check in on source. Oh, wait. Where'd source come from here? Decode. Ah, this would be encoded. Okay. So this is string. Okay. Oh, man. This is funky looking stuff here. New uint8 array. I think we can do 0 there as well. Whoops. And we don't have to do fill with zeros because that is the default behavior. Zeros. Stepping through this a debugger? I don't know. I'm really, at this point, I'm just looking for places where it's a uint8 array, or I mean, where it's a buffer and trying to convert it to a uint8 array. So I don't really use debuggers. I'm not opposed to them. I just don't find, I've not found a flow where I think, oh yeah, the debugger is what I need here. So let's create a test.js. There, I have in the past. I have with languages like Rust, if I'm running on a microcontroller, I'll use a debugger. But with JavaScript, I don't know, getting all the debugger tooling set up doesn't... I guess in some cases it really could help me to step through and be able to inspect variables without having to add in console.log. But I'm not trying to debug something, I'm just trying to port it. All right, base62.js. I'm just trying to make this browser safe. All right, base62.create encoder. Really, this is a base X, but whatever. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. All right, so here's our alphabet, or dict. I'm going to call it dict in this case. And I'm also going to put it in as the default dictionary in here right now. If not alphabet equals, I'm good with that. And I'm going to call this base62 is what I'm going to do. Base62. Base62 equals, whoops, that's not what I wanted. By the way, what's up, Greek Bonds? Greek Bonds. How are you doing? Merry Christmas Eve to you. Create encoder. Our inc equals encoder. And then inc dot encode. And then we're going to give it new text encoder dot encode. And then I wanted to put in my hello world here. Let me go grab that from the other one. Where did I have that at most recently? In the BaseX thing? All right. I'm just going to take this whole thing. All right, that looks about right, but I know this one is correct, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to call it dict, though. I actually do prefer to call it dict in this particular case. Okay, so B62 is what we'll call this. And then I'll run my, yeah, there we go. We'll just run this. Call this good. All right, create encoder is not a function. Well, why ever not? Exports dot create encoder. Oh, whoops, module dot exports. There we go. That's why. Expected uint8 array. Oh, if not. There we go. Okay, cool. This looks right at first blush. Now let's see if we can get it to run in the browser. All right, encode base62 online. And then, let's see, there is no other pages to go to here, but let's just, we'll be creative for a second. And we'll say GitHub. And we'll put the link in here. GitHub.com, the root company, base62.js. Let's put that in there. And then in this main section, we're going to have a form. And the form's going to have a couple of inputs. We're going to have an input for, we're going to have a text area. Name is equal to, let's say, source. Text area. And here's what we're gonna do that's fun with this. Well, first let me put in our script tag here. Whoops. This is going to be source base62.js. All right. All right, let's go ahead and put that in there. All right, and we're going to have an encode and a decode. So we're going to have a button. It's going to say encode. And we're going to have another button that says decode. To Base62. And then we'll say from Base62. Oops, from me. I kind of... I want to put a checkbox here to say that the input... No, what I want is type equals radio. We're going to have a label around this. Let me see what we got here. Just taking a break from learning your favorite framework, React. What are your thoughts on the log4 exploit, and do you think there will become a fix for it? Okay, so two things here. My favorite framework, React. Yay, go learn it. Have fun. I don't know. I'm not affected by the log4j exploit. And I've looked at a couple articles on it, but I really don't get what the big deal is. I don't understand what the connected pieces, because basically it seems you can cause a resolution to happen by getting some special characters in the log. I'm assuming that you can get these special characters in the log by doing some sort of query parameters, and when it logs the query parameters, you can get past the URL escaping in some way. I really don't quite understand why it's a big deal, because it sounds like it's just formatting. And I saw that there's something about remote code execution, but I didn't understand how one would practically exploit it. Okay, so we're going to say Base64. Maybe this is a checkbox here. All right, paste your, let's see, string or array. All right, paste your, I don't know. Paste your input here. Seems kind of a dumb thing to say, but whatever. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have some JavaScript. I guess we'll just call this demo.js maybe. Webdemo.js. All right, so we got a form. Got a text area, got some inputs. I guess this should have a name so that it ties them together. This one's name should be format, maybe. Or encoding. That could be a little confusing. But let's just take a look at what this looks like. So let's open up index.html here. Oh, that did not work at all. Dear heavens, what went wrong? MVP.css. Vendor. Oh, whoops. MVP.css. Don't know how that happened. There we go. Okay. So this looks wrong on so many levels, but we'll go with it. I want to inline those. I'm not sure how to inline those. But I really do want these to be inlined. And I want this to be, let's see, width equals 100% of its container. Can we do that? Probably not. I probably need to do that with a style tag. Oops. All right. Still not quite. Somebody told me there's a new thing for this. There's a new thing for this. There's a way to specify 100% of the space that's available, but I don't remember what it is. Did any of y'all know how you do, width is 100% of what's available? Because obviously I don't want it to be 100% of the container's value because there's padding and stuff. There's something for 100% minus the padding. CSS width minus padding. All right, went to your Creeds of Craftsmanship for learning JS, and it was a bit empty, so I guess I'll learn React instead. Hey, did you watch the Crockford videos? Because that's kind of the big thing there. And it doesn't matter, the software engineering stuff, it doesn't matter what language it's about. It's still good principles. Almost everything that you can do in Go, you can apply to JavaScript. Exposing me to functions like filter, map, reduce, so it's not all bad. What is exposing you to those things? 100 VW. Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Okay. 100 VW. All right, let's take a look at it again. Oh, that's not right. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. There was a way to do this. I should have cemented it into my box sizing, border box. Is this it? I think this is it. I think this is the one that does it. Let's see. There we go. Boom. That's it. That's it. 100%. One of the most important style elements you'll ever come across in your life. Now let's give this a couple of rows. Let's say rows equals what? 5? Probably be decent. There we go. And then all of this extra padding space here, that's kind of obnoxious. Let's see. Main. Margin auto. Padding. 3 REM top and bottom. How about 1 REM top and bottom? Is that going to solve my problem a little bit? Yeah, that's solving a little bit, not quite as much as I'd like to solve it. Let's see. What does this do? Yeah, that's a lot nicer. There we go. That's better. Okay. And then oops, that should not say, oh yeah, that should say base 62 or base 64. Okay. Okay, cool. So this really should be two forms. One should be encode and the other should be decode. And then let's swappy do these around a little bit. So that makes more sense. And then we could just put here input type. And then we should make this default. So checked, right? Checked equals checked, or just checked. There we go. Oh, Hold on. But this was the problem with that, if I remember correctly, is now I can't tell which one's checked because they're both going to show up as checked. So if I were to look for input type equals checkbox dot for each and then there's the element console.log l.checked. Oops, input is not defined. Oh, okay, right, because I need to do this. Input type equals checkbox in quotes. Let's see, just input. Oh, type equals radio, duh. All right, let's go back here, type equals radio. Okay, good. So this is correct. That's false and that's true. And then if we do it again, we should get the reverse true and then false. Okay, so that is right. Excellent. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Oh, hey Kai, what's up? How you doing? Watching from the shower. Nice. Why $$ instead of $? So it's just the built-in for document.querySelectorAll. It's available in the console. It's not available in the DOM. So when you're actually running JavaScript code, $$ is not available. Neither is $. But when you are doing in the console, $ is document.querySelector and $$ is document.querySelectorAll. It's AJ query, by the way. Same thing. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this working. Okay, so we're going to call this webdemo.js. And let me go get AJ query. AJ query. Boom. That's it. Whoops. Okay, now we need to get the form, and we're going to add event listener for submit, and we're going to prevent defaults and stop propagation. And there's two different submit buttons here, so I need to give them names. Let me do that real quick. So this one should have the name is equal to encode, and this one should have name is equal to decode. All right. So ev.target. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it this way. I guess .name, right? Oops. Yeah, this is the right thing. Let me just close that out. Close that out. Okay, so now if I just click either of these, I got nothing multiple times. So let me look at ev.target then. Because that should be, is that what triggers the submit? I think it is. All right, we got form. Okay, I need to get the event. Okay, I know that I've got it. It's actually the wrong thing now, but whatever. Okay. Submitter. Submitter. That's what it is apparently. Submitter dot name. Okay, let's try this. ev.submitter.name. Is that our thing? So encode and decode. Awesome. Sweet. So now we know what to do. And we're going to go ahead and, well, same as in the test here. We're going to create our dictionary and our encoder. Whoops, wrong file. There's our dictionary. There's our encoder. So var base62 equals window dot base62. All right, so if encode is equal to submitter.name, else if decode, and then I'm going to do an else as well, and it's just going to throw window.alert, something went wrong, bad button name. There we go. All right, base62.encode. And then we're going to take new text encoder dot encode, and then we're going to have, what is it? We're going to find text area dot value. So let's do var source equals, let's call it just src. Actually, I don't want to do that yet, but it's okay. We can do this. So if this, so I would say if this is equal to the 0th thing, then we can try this. We can try parsing source as new uint8 array, no, uint8 array dot from json dot parse source. So we can try to make the source a buffer. And then we could also do a thing where if it's base64, if the format, let's see, if, what is it, name equals format. Value, I need to put values on those things. Right? Is that going to work? That might not work. I forget. Okay, what do we got over here? Surprised I don't switch what. Surprised I don't use switch. This was not a case where switch would work. All right, so what is this one though? I don't know if I can do that this way. Let me see if I can. Because I think this will just give me the first one's value. Yeah. If I, okay, let me see. Radio name format value equals base64. Let me see if I switch to this. Nope, it's just value of on. Yeah, that's not going to work. I want to get the one that's checked. Why do I not have... Okay, the one that's checked dot value? That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, that works. Got it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to say here, value is nothing. All right, then I'm not going to do this right now, but we could try and then catch window.alert. Could not decode base64. I could also have hex as a possible option there as well. Var format equals. So what this would be binary to alpha, alpha to binary, A to B, source, and then we'd want to replace any occurrence of minus with plus, and we'd want to replace any occurrence of underscore with slash. And then I always forget what the little ditty is to get the right number of pluses after it, but I'm just going to put that to do, equals handle padding. All right, this doesn't really matter. All right, so we're going to encode the source like this. All right. This is good, I think. Decode, there we go. Oh, this one I guess I could use a switch for. Yeah, that's true. I could do a switch there. All right, and then what I'd want to do is do text area dot value equals. Oh wait, I need to grab my text area. Where's my text area at? Okay, I think that's it. All right, hello world. Encode, and it broke. Cannot read property undefined create encoder. All right, let's just make sure that this was loaded correctly. Base62.js, got loaded there. Let's take a look at the console. 14 and 49. Web demo. Let's see, 14. All right, so something went wrong here because that should be available as Base62. Let me go check this again. So exports comes in as window or module.exports, and exports dot Base62 exports dot create encoder. You know what? Here's my problem. I need to do if, let's do it this way. I'm going to have to update my little test function here. Dot Base62. That's the simplest way to go about this. And my test should work. Whoops. This one's wrong. Something's off. Is this off? No. Okay, that's what's off. All right, so now my test should still work. Yep. And now that should not be broken anymore. So let me go check that. Okay, that's not broken anymore. Hello world. And this breaks at what? Uncaught query selector, web demo 5. Where's that coming from though? Text area? Oh, ev.target, duh. That's my form. Is ev.target. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to grab this real quick. Alrighty, that looks right. And then decode. Oh, decode broke. All right, once I get this working, I'm going to cut this, and then the next part will be the next part. Expected string. Decode unsafe. Base62. Okay, let's see why that is. Okay, so basically there should be a parse input that's different between the two of these. Let's do function parse inputs. And we'll put ev there for funsies for right now, because I think it's being used. Nope. Source is all we need. And then we'll just return source. Okay, and then source equals parse input. And then we'll just have source, and then we'll return source. Oh, and we need format. Parse input format. Okay, and that one we don't need to parse for. And we're good. Okay, so refresh and try again. Boop. Oh, not quite what I wanted. Not quite what I wanted. Okay, so here's what I'm going to try. we're going to say var destination is like this. And we're going to try to do new text decoder dot decode dst. Otherwise, we're going to do array.from dst json.stringify. Let's try that out. Decode hello world. Sweet. All right, we got v0.01 or 0.10. So I should have the ability to say, give me your dictionary as well. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. We're going to go into here. Well, let me grab dictionary here. We're going to move this down into here. And we're going to get the dictionary from, we're probably going to call it name equals dictionary. And then we're going to go into here, and we're going to have dictionary. Input name equals dictionary, value equals all right, let's try that out. Probably should be a text area as well. And then style, we'll put the same style here as there. And then we'll just put this, and then we'll trim this is what we'll need to do. So I think we should do value.trim. Okay. Okay, let's make that row 2 maybe, or row 3. Would that be appropriate? Is that even going to work? That's not going to work. Why is that not going to work? Oh, okay, because we've got mumbo jumbo up in front of it. There we go. So in this case, spacing actually matters. How do I tell Prettier, yo dog, spacing matters here? Well, I'm going to do a little hacky-do real quick. I'm going to say that the value of this is equal to the trimmed value of this. Hacky-do because prettier. All right, that looks good. Oh, that's not right. So this should be name equals source, probably. Let's do that in a couple different places. Do you have any more text area in here? I don't think that we do. All right, cool. This is great. All right, cool. Ba-da-da-da. Cool beans. I kind of think this dictionary bit should go down lower, though. Base62. Should I call it dictionary or encoding? I don't know. All right, so this kind of works. I'm going to call this good for now. I'm going to run prettier and everything and go hang out with the fam probably for the rest of the evening. And sure. Let's see. Let's see here. Sure. Use base X license since we're using base X. Sure. Add linter settings. Add linter config. Add prettier config. Sure, make prettier. And then the rest of this, I think, is just initial working version. And then let me just go ahead and update this to have a Base62 dot, what is it? therootcompany.com. Whoops. And it's going to be base62.js. And base X. Then we go into settings, go into, what is it, pages? Pages down here. Source can just be main. And yeah. And then we'll set the custom domain later. The custom domain will be base62.js.org. That's where we're gonna update it to. So in a few minutes that should appear. And I'm gonna there's gonna be two things on here. The second one, so that is Base62 conversion, just as on an online Base62 converter, because none exists right now. But the other thing is going to be the GitHub token bit, and so I'll do that. I don't know, maybe I will do that while Santa is prancing on rooftops or something tonight. We'll see. Anyway, I'm out. Thanks for joining in. Watching this process removed any illusions I had of once I'm no longer a beginner, my code should just work. No, you always have to test things. Yeah, but I mean, to me, I didn't find this to be a particularly frustrating process. I mean, it's enough that I know what mistakes I made once I see the thing. You know, oh yeah, I named this wrong, or I know which input it's getting it from. So I didn't feel like I was spending a whole bunch of time debugging things. It was just, oh yeah, I made a typo here. I know where that is. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining in. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Wait, that's the wrong sound. But yeah, if you found it useful or entertaining or educational, give it a thumbs up. And share with someone that you like. Share on Twitter, share on Facebook, share on, I don't know if Twitch and YouTube have a retweet button. But yeah, share. The goal is to get to about an average of 10 watchers. So that's where we're trying to get to. And the reason for that, the number 10, is because the math doesn't work out with the way that Twitch is. And so if we get to an average of 10, we'll actually average around 3. Because that's Twitch math for you. Somebody made a nice Reddit post explaining that. But anyway, yeah. And anyway, if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down and share with someone that you don't like. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. I will catch you later. Adios.